Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of the Rich and Turbo Heavy Half Hour. I'm Rich. Find me on X at Posting Rip, all the socials at rich.paiva, doing reviews from Musipedia of Metal, and as a Doom Charts contributor, very happy to have my partner Turbo with me tonight. Turbo, what's going on?
I'm here.
That's all we can really ask for. Thank you, Turbo. Bringing the energy as usual. Thank you. Let's talk a little bit about what the guests that we have on tonight. A band who we've been fans of for a while, and a record that's been elusive for a while for us vinyl collectors, and now newly signed to Black Throne Productions. Shout out to Ryan. We have Aunt Cynthia's Cabin with us tonight. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
What's up, guys?
Very well.
Excellent. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to start with Brennan because I'm looking at him in the middle. If you guys can just introduce yourselves, say what you guys do in the band, and what's going on, that would be wonderful.
Sure, yeah. My name's Brennan. I play guitar and sing in Aunt Cynthia's Cabin, and also do a lot of the recording and mixing for a lot of our previous work. And yeah, happy to be here. Thanks for having us on.
Excellent. I'm looking at Jeremy next. Jeremy, how about you?
Hello, it's me. I play drums, and that's about it.
I'm sure there's way more to you than that, Jeremy, but in this particular case, we'll go with that. And Anthony, how about you?
Yes. I play bass with Aunt Cynthia's Cabin.
Wonderful. Now, so I'll start out. I have a prop. So
Oh shit!
we have
nice.
this. We have this, which I believe is from Old Magic Records, the purple version.
No shit.
Yeah.
I've actually
don't
looked
even
that
have
up,
one of
and I
those.
haven't been able to find it.
I might have two. So I'll look. I have a lot of Old Magic tapes
How
behind me.
much you
That's
selling
cool.
the other one for? We just start like a little auction right here for our
Yeah.
own cassette.
This is. I didn't realize that how one of a kind this was. One of the reasons why we have you on the show is because Ryan from Black Throne reached out, and I'm staring at a pre-order for a new pressing of your 2020 record, I believe, right? Misty
Yeah.
Woman, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Awesome. Vinyl collectors rejoice, so we don't have to pay the ridiculous Discogs price like someone might for my tape later.
Yeah. Right?
Um,
Again, I mean, dude, I might know somebody that wants that. Just saying.
So one of the fun things I looking, I do research for the show, and one of the interesting things when you look up Aunt Cynthia's Cabin, it's like I can't find anything on these guys. What are these guys all about? What's going on? Tell us, how did you wind up now, 5 years later, or almost 6 years later, with on Black Throne re-releasing Misty Woman?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think no one knew who we were for a long time, and it's cool to see the activity around the record now. And it took a little longer than I think we thought it would, but it's just once again, life plays out differently than how you would have imagined. So that's totally cool with me. I'm really excited about it. I think that and even some of our earlier EPs I'm still very proud of, just in terms of the songwriting and what we were able to put into that. It's a hell of a group of guys playing with Anthony and Jeremy, and I think we've all had some similar experiences that have led to a lot of inspiration around music and songwriting and kind of how music likes to come out of us. So I'm just excited to talk with people about it and be able to share, kind of whatever people want to know and want to hear about us.
It's awesome. How did you wind up getting with Ryan and Black Throne and getting this record repressed? How did that whole thing happen?
Good question. I mean, he shot us an email, and it's funny, like we get so much spam email and from people saying that they can help us, get listeners and help us distribute and help us with whatever. And, even on the rare occasion that I talk with them, it's usually like a total scam. And but Ryan seemed very, very sincere, and I did some digging on kind of his background and his business, and he seemed like a stand-up guy. So Yeah, this is Ryan of Black Throne Records, obviously. And yeah, after a few conversations, it just seemed like we were really on the same page with, you know, how we could work together, and it seemed like a mutually beneficial thing. So that it really worked both ways, because I think they, you know, get a little peek into like our internet fandom and the people that listen to us online, which may be a little bit different but complementary to their current listeners, for, you know, the rest of their catalog. And for us, it's great because we get some more vinyl, and that's a hard thing to come by. And I know a lot of our listeners have messaged us since the release, asking for more. So yeah, I'm really happy to be working with them.
That's awesome. I have questions on vinyl because I was doing some Discogs digging outside of this record. But Black Throne, we've had a bunch of bands on, and some of our favorite records for this year, like the Mooch record and the Hell Horse Ritual record, both like just killer albums and different. Like they, you know, one's like this Sabbathy lo-fi doom stuff, and Mooch is almost like 90s alternative, and then a band called Star Beast that I love, who they have a record coming out next year. But I what I want to ask also is, just from a band standpoint, as a trio, Anthony, I'll go to you. So how much do you right now, what are you guys up to when it comes to new stuff from Aunt Cynthia's Cabin, as much as you can you know, tell us at this point, if anything is under wraps or on the down low, we can edit.
Say that's within the contracts is no. I'm just kidding. No, no. Wait. As far as Aunt Cynthia's Cabin stuff, well, we still had a bunch of stuff that's where Magic Touch came from. We had a bunch of stuff that from the Miramar Sessions, which, man, I was so glad to get that one out. Magic Touch, right, guys? That was so dope. But then. So yeah, we got, but and we're bouncing some ideas off each other within Cynthia's Cabin. Yeah, that's where we're at with that.
So writing right now, that's where we stand.
Exactly, that's what I meant.
Okay, cool. And Jeremy, do you guys all write in a room together? Do you send stuff to each other? Or?
Yeah, I think in the beginning they were working on stuff, and I joined, and then it just kind of went from that point on. And we got a rehearsal space. Yeah. Where we paid, you know, $400 a month for.
$420, bro. Get out of here.
$420. Okay.
Come on.
So, and then we were rehearsing all the time, or we would just show up in the room, see what happens, and that's what a lot of. That's where a lot of the songs from Mudroom 13 came from, and Misty Woman.
Yeah.
But now we're just kind of just sending each other ideas. I mean, I have a couple parts from both of the guys that I've been fucking with. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. We haven't been in the same room for 5 years, probably.
Oh wow. Oh, yeah. Okay.
For about 5 years.
We're very remote now.
We're excited to get together. What, you guys? Is it January?
Yeah.
So, are you guys all over the country? Are you? Because I know there's been like a San Diego to Texas thing where the record came out of, but are you guys spread out?
Yeah. So, you know, in the earlier days, I think like 2016 or 2017. You know, when we initially got together, we were all in San Diego, and that's where we. You know, kind of made our first connections and like, you know, really started to write some serious music and playing shows and stuff too. And after the pandemic, you know, a lot of us just like we started focusing on other projects, and, you know, like stuff shut down. So it was like we really know.
We couldn't even play shows.
Yeah, we couldn't. And that was like the only way we knew of getting our music out there, because, you know, that's just, we did that, you know, shows 3 times a week, and we were doing that for years. So when that stopped, I think we just kind of like took a break and started focusing on some other stuff. And yeah, in that process, like I dispersed. I mean, I was living in Northern California for a bit. Anthony,
I was all over, bro.
Yeah.
I stayed
all over. But yeah, I'm in Savannah now. They're both in SoCal.
Savannah. Oh, Georgia. Okay, so you're on the East Coast out.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. closer to me. I'm in Florida, so I'm in.
Oh, dope. I was
I'm
in
in Central
St.
Florida.
Pete for a while too.
Just a roamer, just a traveler. It sounds
Yeah.
like, huh? All
I mean,
right.
yeah, look at me. Know what I mean?
Oh goodness, Turbo! I know you are a fan. I think you actually are the one who turned me on to the band. So, what questions do you
thanks,
have for the
Turbo.
guys?
Few questions about your songs that I'll get to in a second, but I just want to know: is Aunt Cynthia's cabin an actual place? I was hoping it was a place that y'all went to record where magic mushrooms were and dream plants and all that were around.
We can get philosophical here, man. Like,
Oh yeah, it is a place.
it's not in the physical realm.
It doesn't exist in the physical world.
But
Right.
no, it's not like you can't go there. But
Unless you're us
jokingly
or
say-
the audience.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like kind of like that's where we go, us three go when we're being creative. That's where it all happens, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a little bit of like Hotel California kind of thing where it's like, to everyone it might mean something different, but to us it's like it really came about because the sound of the music that we were playing. Anthony and I came out from a surf rock band before Aunt Cynthia's Cabin, and there was this like really definitive twang and stuff to our music, and we love making trips out to the desert and San Diego. A lot of people think it's like, all beach. It's a little beach and like really close to the desert. And there's a lot of that kind of culture out there, especially in like East County and stuff where, if you're not super rich, you might live out there. So, like there's that kind of culture. And so it's not a physical place that we've been to yet. Maybe we'll find it someday, and that'll be really cool.
That's our retirement plan.
I know when we were setting up our Instagram, there was like a thing like maybe out in Europe somewhere as like someone's bakery or something.
I was gonna say like a bed and breakfast or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there legit is one.
Yeah, exactly. So, but for us, it is definitely like a mental and metaphorical place that just kind of represents the sound that we're playing to and like the vibe that we're playing to.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So short answer, no, it's not real.
Well, I don't know. Maybe the rehearsal space was room 13.
Yeah, Mudroom 13, dude.
Remember when we talked about what a mudroom is?
Yes.
Somewhere where you take your boots off and,
Dude, me and Melissa were just
relax.
talking about that. And I'm like, dude, that's
Before
how we
you go
came
into
up
your
with Mudroom 13. We were telling Brennan what a mudroom is. I'm like, bro, he never lived anywhere where it rains, dude.
Right, or snow.
Right.
I can definitively say that I did not know what a mudroom is for a very long time. If I had a mudroom, we didn't call it that where I grew up.
Yeah.
Well, you see, me and
Maybe
Jeremy
call it
kind
a
of grew up in the
sunroom.
sticks,
Right, yeah.
Yeah, the stupid suburban kids like me.
Oh,
No mudroom. Just walk in, throw your boots on the floor.
I won't get too into it, but that
You don't
reminds me
even
of
wear
this
boots.
good book, Demon Copperhead. Look that book up then. We're talking about, quote, like dumb urban kids or suburban kids. But you should check that one out. But either way.
Writing it down. Turbo, I'm sorry. You had more questions. Turbo.
Oh, yeah. Listening to some of the earlier music today, the song Illusions off of 2018's Cabin Fever. I thought that was a PJ Harvey song at first when I was listening to it. So I was wondering if maybe you were influenced in any way by PJ Harvey when you were doing that song.
I'm not familiar.
I don't know.
I kind of figured that, Brennan. But I get what he's saying.
Who's he with? Is he with a band?
Harvey is a chick.
PJ Harvey?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I'm familiar. It's a little
Okay, I had no
old school
idea,
reference.
We've officially figured out that there is a generational gap between the members of Aunt Cynthia's Cabin and the Rich and Turbo Heavy Half Hour. If you were alive and kicking in the 90s, PJ Harvey was an alternative rocker, if you will. You probably dig her stuff, I would say.
Makes sense why Jeremy knows it. He's old as fuck.
I'm old as fuck.
Okay, well, she
I'm
I'm
married
probably
my
more
age,
close to
so-
Turbo's age. Or maybe you too, Rich.
That one, Brennan, you wrote that one the whole way. So if you don't know PJ Harvey,
Yeah.
no
You
one
might
can.
have
That's
to
really
write a
cool.
check.
I'm stoked to find out about
We're gonna
this. So
check her
I'll definitely
out, though.
look it up afterwards. Was she with the band or just her own?
Just her.
She went by her own name.
Just her own stuff.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll check it
Solo
out
with
when we're done with this.
Well, so that goes to, and I want to see if you guys had a hand in what's written on the Black Throne website about for fans of, right? It says for fans of dead metal and all them witches. I get that. Was
Yeah.
that something that you guys put in there, or was that a combined
Yes.
record label? And you okay? So
That
and
is
the Ventures. So
literally
that's your
their
surf rock
two
side,
favorite
right?
bands.
Okay. So you guys are okay. I can see that. I understand, and there's definitely a synergy there. What else? So Brennan, I'll start with you since a couple of songs Treble mentioned. We'll get back to the other song you wanted to mention, but what are some of your major influences when you start looking at your writing and your playing?
Yeah, so I wish I could say that like when I was growing up I was exposed to all this like super obscure music, but like this is not true. Like my dad listens to like the Beatles and like Fleetwood Mac and Zeppelin, and I mean really good stuff, but it's not necessarily like the crate digging stuff that a lot of deeper music fans are into. When I was in middle school, my uncle gave me my first CDs. That like I owned for myself. It wasn't like borrowing from my dad or someone like that. And it was AC/DC, Blue Oyster Cult, and Jimi Hendrix.
Dope.
And I like listened to those on repeat for years. And it wasn't until like, I always played music in my bedroom and stuff, but and like with some bands in high school, but it was never anything like serious. And once I started to take things a little more seriously, and like in the band that Anthony and I were in before, the Twin Fins, I was really into like Ty Segall and the OCs and a bunch of like burger bands from LA that it was kind of a time and place and culture thing, like a lot of friends in LA and stuff like that.
They're kind of like the new psych scene, right? Some of those bands, right?
Yeah, totally. And then just being fortunate enough to like meet people that had jobs in the music industry and learning about like, some really cool lesser known stuff and like having that kind of exposure. It's like kind of all over, but like a lot of 60s and 70s psych. If I see a record from a band that's from like the late 60s and they have a song on their album that's like 12 plus minutes long, I'm usually like, fuck yes. Like, this is my thing. You know what I mean? And so it's like that kind of stuff for me.
Look, sonically, give me, and Turbo will not agree with me this, but give me the Beatles Revolver and Fleetwood Mac Rumors all day long. And I don't need obscure. You can sell 10 million, 20 million copies of records and still be, an amazing sounding and influential record. So,
AC/DC did that too.
Yeah, well, yeah, and Blue Oyster Cult. So yes, Turbo. We'll go to Jeremy after because he's old as fuck like we are, and we might have more, connection. And I'm quoting Anthony on this. So, what about you, Anthony?
You quoted Brennan, but, yeah.
Brennan on that. Yes, I wasn't quite sure. It seemed like I've only just met you, but it seemed more like an Anthony comment than a Brennan comment.
Because he looks younger. They're the same age.
Anthony, what's your story? Tell us. Where does your plane come from? What is your like? Where does the spaceship land? Tell us about it.
I don't know. I got with the Twin Fins. I only play bass with Aunt Cynthia's Cabin, and actually, I think the first time I ever played bass with a group of people was with the Twin Fins. And then for that day, I mean, I played guitar my whole life. And then when I got with the Twin Fins, I played bass every day for 4 years. But the only song that I ever play or know by anyone else besides music that me and Brennan wrote together, and Jeremy too, sorry bros, but is what is that shit by oh my god, Hey by the Pixies. I know that bass line. But
All
other
right.
than that, I don't play bass.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like hip hop a lot. I like all types of music, but I cruise around listening to hip hop because I like listening to shit where it pumps you up a little bit. You know what I mean? But then, I mean, I don't know. It's all over the board with me. It's not a particular type of music. I like really like resonate with like specific artists and bands, and then like the more recent the music gets, I'm very song to song because I don't know. That's just how it works out. But I love Marlon Craft. I think he's one of the dopest. I think he's probably like the best rapper that ever lived. It's hard to stay conscious, say intelligent things, but also like be like, if you're listening to this just musically, you're like, this is fun to listen to. Good, good. Like a lot of hip hop albums, there's like 2 tracks where you're like, they clearly paid the most for this instrumentation. You know what I mean? And then the rest of them, you're like, that kind of sucked. But he's really he keeps it dignified with all that shit. I mean, yeah, dude, Nirvana, the Smashing Pumpkins, all Jimi Hendrix, yeah, Led Zeppelin, all that. But then I mean, yeah, I love Biggie, Tupac, Nas. I like drill music and Zion. That's like one of Lupe Fiasco's most recent albums. I think that shit's amazing.
I love
Yeah,
that
man.
your music is all over the place because like it's perfect. Like it's literally perfect. And I'm definitely not a modern hip hop guy, but I had a lot of flashbacks watching the Biggie, the Puff Daddy documentary
Oh,
that was
dude.
on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I love 90s hip hop specifically, and I love 50 Cent, bro. I can't even believe I forgot him. I'm getting so real. And he's just, dude, I love watching interviews with that guy. He's so fucking funny.
I went
But,
down a Craig Mack rabbit hole
oh,
right after
okay.
watching that, and I'm like, oh, both his music, but then like interesting dude.
The story.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
interesting dude. He might have wound up in Aunt Cynthia's cabin at some point before everything, because he just lost his shit. But I think he missed and just kept going.
You ain't
He
taking my
didn't
spot
stop.
then.
Jeremy, let's go to you. They both looked at you when they mentioned a '90s artist. So, but who are your favorite drummers, and what did you what did you bring to the band musically when you guys got together?
Shit. I don't really know. I just based on what people have said to me, I like Mitch Mitchell, John Bonham, obviously.
Yeah.
Like people have come up to me and mentioned jazz. I'm like, I guess I don't. I never practiced jazz. I wasn't in jazz band in high school. I wasn't. You know what I mean? I grew up playing with 50s and 60s rock and roll. So. Obviously, I don't know if you guys know, but I was born in Seattle. I was 10, 11, 12 when the grunge thing was happening. So, you know, there's a lot of influences from all those bands. I don't even know the names of the drummers, except Dave Grohl, but... all the rest.
Nirvana, amazing.
Yeah. But...
after the first full record, they could all go away.
Yeah, true.
I agree 100%.
Actually.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I also think Mitch Mitchell doesn't get mentioned enough for being an amazing drummer. The sound he made and his kit.
Yeah. And that he's from England, right? So,
yeah. And he was a lunatic as well, from all I've read.
Perfect.
Most drummers be a little weird. Rock and roll drummer, that is.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, and jazz drummers back in the day too. From what I've read, Turbo, what else you got for the guys?
This kind of leads to the sound of what you all got going on. But when listening to Which One Is the Jellyfish, I kind of get the idea that it reminds me of the song from Kill Bill, Battle Without Honor. It kind of has that same feel to it, and so.
Thanks.
Wondering if you have thought about doing soundtrack work or something like that.
Dude, that is so funny that you
Brennan.
say that.
Yeah. We would be down.
Yeah, that's that's like my number one goal. Like if I had to pick like the one thing that I want out of music as like a stretch goal, kind of, it would be to like score a movie. That
and
is,
bro, like we had a song in the old band. Remember the Twin Fins song, the $5 Shake? Which
Yeah.
I used to call it. I'm like, remember that Quentin Tarantino like song? And
Yeah.
then, dude, he comes to rehearsal and he's like, dude, $5 Shake, like from Pulp Fiction, and we're like, fuck yes. But yeah, dude, like I mean, as far as music we all write together, like I feel like unmeaning to, but also like awesome that we do. Like I'm like, that could totally be in a Quentin Tarantino movie, you know? That's like, there's a vibe, you know?
100%. And I can't
Quentin,
tell
if
you.
you're listening, we got you, bro.
Dude. Yep. Shout out Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I read Tape Op magazine, and I'm really into a lot of the like kind of recording and gear stuff, process stuff. And I've seen a lot of these interviews where an artist will go back into the studio and they'll actually pull up the tracking from the original album and like just tweak a few things here and there to like really let it hit a little more appropriately for whatever movie or whatever it's going into. And being like the guy that does the recording and stuff for us, it just feels so right. Like our music is like we always have to I don't know if you guys like remember, but the lighting in whatever room we play whenever we jam is like we're so picky about it, and like there's been so many rehearsal spaces and everything that we've gone into and be like, dude, can we curse on this? Sorry.
Yes, you absolutely can curse.
Oh,
on
yeah.
Okay, I realize I've let a couple fly. But it's like we got to fucking turn these lights off and like bring some lamps in here because like this isn't doing it. And
Yeah, overhead lights suck.
and yeah, like there's been times, and I think which one is the Jellyfish is one of these songs where like we start playing and things are feeling a little clinical and like this isn't, we could get a little deeper here, and we'll just turn the lights off and go for it. And no singing, just like kind of exploring a sound. And yeah, so that kind of stuff is so interesting to me. I think music is so it can be enjoyed like on another level when it's paired with a movie or something like that.
Oh yeah, dope visual.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Very cool. You mentioned the Miramar Sessions and the songs that are out, and there's going to be a bonus one on here. I was looking. So as of right now, the Miramar Sessions, Misty Woman Miramar Sessions, are available on most streaming platforms, it looks like, the one I'm looking at here. I didn't see it on Bandcamp, right? But so it's not on Bandcamp yet, but everyone can hear it elsewhere. And on the vinyl, so a couple questions. On the vinyl, there's a song from that. Which song is going to be on there?
Magic Touch.
Magic Touch. Very cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah, dude.
Excellent. And tell us about the Miramar Sessions. I'm sure it wasn't Miramar, Florida, down in South Florida, where you guys were came down to record.
Spot, though, bro.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, this was
the
in
whole album done.
Miramar, San Diego.
Yeah.
And like right next to the like Top Gun airfield, where they conduct the training exercises for naval aviators.
I did not know that that's what that place was.
Yeah.
But now I know, dude.
You never saw those airplanes?
No, I definitely
drove by it, like,
but I wasn't like,
going
oh
to
shit, Top Gun,
practice.
dude. But now I'm like, oh shit, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
just learning something.
Perfect.
But yeah. No, the whole album, we have the whole Misty Woman album. Brennan, we recorded it, and then Brennan mixed that to send to Adrian. And we have even like we have like at least like 4 or 5 other ones that never got on to Misty Woman, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
oh,
So
dude, those recordings are sick, bro.
they're really cool. I really liked everything we did in that room. And I mean, yeah, the brief background is like to pitch our songs to Adrian, who ended up producing our record, and really to pitch it to anyone. Like this was an intentional decision that we wanted to try and record with someone else and not just me, for a number of reasons. But we recorded like 12 or 13 songs for like a kind of a reference track demos thing that we were pitching to people that had like a studio and gear. And
but Brennan's mad good, so he can't say that about himself, but I'll say it for him. Like, he's a dope engineer, so he made them clean. They were
Thank you, brother.
very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely.
Like,
I absolutely have the approach like cut no corners, and we made it sound good. And I treated it just like I would, our previous EPs. Maybe at the end just threw a limiter on the stereo bus and made it sound like a little more normal than like a rough mix. But anyway, the whole Misty Woman album exists in Miramar Sessions. It's really just on a Google Drive that only the three of us have access to right now. And there's some there's other songs that never made it onto the record. Like I said, I think we sent him 12 or 13 and we came out with like 8 or 9 or whatever's on the LP. And but Magic Touch was one that was like a big show song for us.
Yes.
And I think like we kind of wrote some of it in the studio, but really we wrote that one like on stage at shows.
It was so fun to play that song.
Yeah, it was fun to play. Like you kind of play to the crowd's energy for that one. So that's the history of Miramar Sessions. And I wanted to call it Misty Woman Demos, but I guess like Spotify doesn't let you call it that. So we had to come up with
bastards.
The title.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know. Like you can't do that.
You're not allowed to say demo.
No, you can't. So we're getting flagged for that.
Apparently.
So I was like, all right, we got to come up with a name for this thing.
Mudroom was recorded there too, and we wrote Mudroom at the Miramar studio, and we recorded it in there. So that's also another significant thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
if that wasn't clear already, our rehearsal space that we paid monthly for was in Miramar, California.
And that's where we tracked Mudroom. Did we track most of Cabin Fever there too? We did some of it in the garage.
We did that in the garage and various locations, kitchens, bathrooms.
Yeah, all types of shit.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds
good. So are you guys, prior to kind of moving away and stuff, it sounds like, and prior to the world going to shit in 2020, you guys were pretty heavy on the live side of it. You guys played a lot of shows out. You guys were primarily, not primarily, but pretty significant live band. Is that an accurate statement to say?
Yeah,
we played a lot of shows. I don't know, like significant meaning to who, but I mean to us it was. But we did play in like two, like almost like one and a half, maybe 2 years. We played a couple hundred shows. I booked as many as they would say yes to, meaning us say yes to. I would book us like three times a week at some points. And yeah.
That sounds about right. Honestly, Anthony did a ton of the legwork with just like meeting people, networking, meeting people that book, meeting like owners of bars, and we played everywhere there is to play in San Diego, except for the Belly Up Tavern,
which we're working
on. We'll get there eventually, but pretty much everywhere else you can possibly set up a microphone and an amp in San Diego, we played there.
Anthony sounds like a shy guy. I'm surprised he's the one who's out there making those connections. I'm
this is me
shocked.
being quiet. That's the stuff. I'm like, I even told my girl, I'm like, I'm not going to talk that much today. And I'm over here just like, well. Okay, anyways, sorry.
Yeah, right.
And by significant live band, I mean like we talk to bands who play handful of shows, right? And maybe just a couple in a year, or just locally, and not necessarily even if they get out to play, they're happy, with once every couple of months. But but what I have read about you guys is just you kind of thrive in that kind of live environment based on my research.
Not only were we playing like 3 shows a week, we would rehearse. We would be rehearsing, writing, or recording together literally every single other day. Like it was like for like 4 years, like me and Brennan probably saw each other at least 4 to 5 days a week regarding music. And then when Jeremy and I met, it was just then another 2 years of just all of us. I always joke where I'm like, I talk to them more. I was married at one point. I'm not, thankfully. But I talked to them more than I talked to when I was married to my wife. You know what I mean? We would just be it was constant. We were in it,
Jeremy, when you met Anthony for the first time and you started to play music with him, what was your initial reaction, and how did you guys gel as a as a rhythm section?
Oh, well, we met on Newport Avenue in Ocean
OB.
And like my wife and I had been out partying, and I saw these two dudes just at the closed Starbucks, which doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, what?
Smoking weed. Anthony
Yeah.
had an acoustic guitar, and I went up, and I was like, "You guys got some weed?"
Yeah, this is an awesome story.
And that's how we met.
Yep.
And then we exchanged numbers because I was like, I need a weed connect because I'd only been living in San Diego for like
But then
a
his
year
wife's
or two.
like, he plays drums.
I was like, I play drums, and I got a cottage. And then though, Anthony started texting me all the time, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
And then he, I'd be like, all right, come over, let's jam. Yeah, I had my drum set up in the cottage, and so
That was
he was playing guitar with a
Yep.
lot of delay at the time. So we were doing we started making music, and I don't know when you mentioned Brennan or your other projects, or your, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I don't remember.
okay, I remember. You were living in that apartment with that weird chick.
Christine, yes.
Christine.
And like,
Yeah, you know.
and I would go over, and then you showed me your guys' cover of that.
Solitary Man.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, who's this? Who's the dude playing guitar and shit? And then eventually, I don't remember how we came about meeting up in that garage. And
That was Brennan's garage.
was it?
And then that
Claremont.
was it. Then we were just like, holy shit, this is perfect. And
Yeah, the first couple
that was it. We were in.
songs. It's like, fuck
It's
yeah,
awesome.
let's do this.
It's funny that we mentioned Tarantino before, because Jeremy, like the opening of that story sounded like Tim Roth in Reservoir Dogs, like telling his weed. I needed a weed connection in California. Like it literally, I thought we were in a movie
Wow.
for a second. I kind of felt like that's the direction that we were going in there. So there's the cinematic vibe happening on this episode right now. So.
There's so much opportunity there, man. If anyone's watching this that has any ability to make a movie, just hit us up.
Yeah,
dude,
hit us
yeah,
up.
we got
Oh,
ideas,
be careful what you wish for with some of the guys who probably watch this.
Next thing we end up on a Diddy doc. You know,
Oh, no!
Whoa.
they're like, yo, you said you wanted to be in a movie, didn't you? We're like, not this kind of movie.
So, last question: as a nerd of music, of collecting music, I'm on Discogs looking around at stuff, and I see an Aunt Cynthia's Cabin self-titled blue clear split with blue splatter from
Oh.
Feed Bands.
Yeah.
What the hell is this? And who
Dude,
the hell
yeah.
has one of these? Because that needs to be in some capacity sent to Central Florida. What is that thing?
So,
Dude.
I used to subscribe. It's a defunct music subscription service where the community of people that buy into this subscription pay their monthly dues go towards the vinyl of the month that gets sent to your house. Awesome thing. Like you get one share of the vote to say what random vinyl you get every month. For people that like vinyl, it's an awesome thing. I don't know how they went out of business. I love this thing.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that was cool.
And I didn't really ever think I was a subscriber to this thing, and I never really thought about like it from the musician side. But yeah, one day, I don't know, the little light bulb went off. I was like, oh, I should actually look into that. And so what you have to do as a musician is basically submit for, to put your record into the vote. And then if people like it in a digital format, then they vote for it. And we won the first month we put in, I think Cabin Fever, we won. And so, yeah, that was a limited pressing. I think there was like 200 of those that went out or something. And it was like anyone that subscribed to that thing got it. And sadly, that may have been the very last vinyl that they ever did.
Oh, wow.
But they're cool and they held up to the deal. They had gone out of business.
Oh, you're
and,
right.
Right? Remember that?
That happened mid-process. Like it
so
was like
those guys are good guys.
You're right. And they held up their end of the deal and they distributed it anyway. Very cool guys.
Oh,
So
that's cool
hopefully-
because a lot of those places that went belly up did not do the right thing. There's a couple that I'm thinking of that wound up leaving artists, looking for whatever they put into it.
They did right by us.
That's very cool. Do you guys have a copy of this record? Does anyone have one of these? So I make sure in case I find a couple, and that I need to let you guys know because
Thank you.
I was talking. We were lucky enough to have, and again, it's a '90s band, but band called Paw. They were a '90s like a grunge band, and the guy who's the singer is in a band called Godzillionaire now. And we got to interview him, and I was telling him, I got your record, Death to Traitors, and he's like, I don't even have one of those. I'm like, I paid too much money on Discogs for it, so I'm going to keep this one. But if I find another one, I'll let you know. So it's interesting to know whether you guys have your own stuff or not. So it's so you do have a copy somewhere.
I think so. I got to check. Right. Yeah, I got it. We just moved into this house. I got to check. I have some boxes in there. I could look around.
If there are any laying around, I know a guy who would be very interested in said record.
Well, we've talked about possibly pressing.
That would be cool.
The earlier stuff too. So,
yep. Yeah, we've talked about repress the old EPs, maybe like a remaster or something to give it just a little, whatever the extra sweetness is that it needs. I think those are such cool songs. So
I'll be real. Yeah, I like.
Agree.
Mudroom 13 is so underrated. It's nobody.
Bro.
I mean, what the fuck? Yeah. It's on Spotify.
That shit was fun. Yeah, I love playing all them songs too, though. That was dope. Oh man.
Yeah, Black Watermelon Sun is one of my favorite songs by you guys.
Dude, yeah.
It's just killer stuff. Turbo, we've kept them way longer than we told them we would. So do you have any more questions for the guys?
No, just look forward to whatever you got going on into the future.
Yeah.
Well, we'll keep you posted and get back on here sometime. Please.
I would love for you guys to come back when whatever you guys want to talk. Just come back and talk to us. The repress of what we will call a classic record from 2020 because we love it. Cynthia's Cabin, Misty Woman, coming out on Black Throne Productions. It is coming out and dropping on, I know it's December 19th. It looks like it will start shipping. And when Black Throne says the date, they mean it. I got my Pale Horse Ritual record right on time. So thank you, Ryan. Thank you, everyone who does what you do at Black Throne. Yeah, and Jeremy, Brennan, Anthony, this is awesome. Thank you so much. Love you guys. And please come back and talk to us again whenever, because this was a ton of fun. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Have a good one.
Great to meet you.
You as well.
Okay.